I'm a fourth generation Portlander, and I work in garbage. It wasn't long ago when I was a young boy hauling pop cans to the local Fred Meyer on the interstate in Lombard. My great-grandfather was not allowed to operate in this industry. They were not welcome. And that's not just me saying that. That was all documented in a 1955 City Club report. My father started a garbage company in 1996 with just a dream, with just a hope, and he had no money. In fact, it's very clear he didn't have a lot of money because he bought this very old, raggedy 1974 roll-off truck that broke down all the time. And quite frankly, I believe it sat more than it actually did work. He was ridiculed. He was laughed at. He wasn't accepted by the industry. But he's resilient. Our dad is pretty tough. And over the years, my siblings and I have been able to grow this business, grow this company, and have a bigger impact on our community. No one's laughing anymore. And I'm definitely not laughing because I want to get out. I want to get out of this industry. It's unsustainable. It's not helping our planet. It's not helping our society. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to do something different. I want us to evolve so Portland can become the #1 garbage city in the world. And one of the things that is really inspiring is thinking about the history of some of the great policies and legislation that we have had, such as the Oregon Beach cleanup, and a lot of other sustainable practices and policies that have moved us forward. However, this is the same place with all of that prosperity that we've created, has also created a lot of waste, has also created a lot of despair in a linear economy, which is heavily designed around extract, produce, consume, and dispose. And I want us to think about something a little bit different. I want us to think about moving to a more circular economy, something more regenerative, something more positive, something more collaborative, where we can use garbage for good. Now, there have been some good things that have happened in our community. For example, we have the bottle bill. That's part of the circular economy, but it's just not good enough. Blue and green roll carts on our curbs. And actually, we also have the little yellow tub as well for all you wine drinkers out there. But it's not good enough. You know what concerns me most these days is how we're handling food. And the fact that this individual is no longer with us, this statement right here is a very clear indication of the state that we're in. So let's talk about food. There's a lot of options that we could be doing in handling with food as opposed to just discarding it. So let's start with humans. Well, we could be investing in our distribution networks and making sure that food gets to the places that are in most need, such as shelters and food banks. We could be converting our food to animal feed. And one that inspires me most is we could be considering anaerobic digestion as an urban concept with the technologies and advancements that we have today in order to heat our buildings. Another waste stream, wood. On every construction project in our city, 40% of the waste that comes off that project is wood, lumber. And I believe there's a lot of things we could be doing with it other than burning it and landfilling it, because that's our current highest and best use of wood waste. I believe we could be creating renewable lumber products and using garbage to build our city. Textiles. Ooh, this is a good one right here. You know that we have enough textiles on the planet today to clothe the next 7 generations? Now, I know you guys really enjoy the fast fashion thing. I mean, I do too. It's convenient, right? But it's negatively impacting us all. And as opposed to watching it wash up on beaches or watching it not be handled properly, why can't we remanufacture our textiles here locally? Why can't we be coming up with creative, new, innovative solutions for our textile waste? I mean, we have a lot of major apparel companies here right in our backyard. What would it take for us to make that happen and make that possible? Plastics. Oh, we love plastics. We depend on plastics. I mean, we're all sitting on plastic today. But plastics are really hard to deal with and very hard to break down. And there's a lot of things that we could be thinking about with plastics. There's all kind of technologies and conversations that have happened over the years. But to me personally, I really believe that the highest and best use right now that we have is creating renewable biodiesel. Now, yes, that's not solar panels and that's not solar energy, but it's definitely better than coal, and it's better than landfilling, and more importantly, it's better than watching it float in our oceans. And everybody's doing a lot of great things. And I want to share with you what we're doing. At CORE, we're considering a concept referred to as the CORE Campus, which is an R&D operation bringing together experts, scientists, entrepreneurs, and industry stakeholders to come up with the newest and most creative, innovative ideas around material sciences and finding higher and better uses of waste streams and keeping it out of landfills. Hopefully, as a result of this, we can showcase how the triple bottom line genuinely works. And that triple bottom line will enable us to show the rest of the world how communities of color can lead in environmental justice and climate tech. Now, this isn't just solely just about cans and bottles and roll carts anymore. We've got to figure out ways to localize our supply chains, to spur innovation, create green jobs, and keep trash off our streets. But this can't be done in silos. This can't be done alone. We have to embrace a model of circularity being representative of collaboration, because it requires all of us. The siloed approach for the 20th century is no longer going to work in the 21st century. We've got to get our stuff together. And unfortunately, what I've come to realize is a lot of our systems are broken. And one system in particular is our government system. Our governmental system, unfortunately right now, makes hundreds of millions of dollars on us throwing things in landfills. In Portland, Oregon, that exists. I have a feeling that nobody thinks that that's the most beneficial pathway for us. And so what do we do about that? Well, I don't want to demonize our governments. I don't want to make them feel bad, because a lot of them inherited this. But I also know that they're going to need our help and our support in order to innovate and move forward to create more prosperous outcomes in how they utilize our public dollars for greater good and planetary good. And so we all know of these concepts that are talked about and thought about, referred to as P3s, but I think we were missing one leg to that. We can no longer operate in a linear economy, in a linear system, creating a wasteful outcome. But most importantly, we have to get our community-based organizations on board, lifting them up at a rate we never had before, because they are the eyes and ears of the ground, of the people, those that are struggling most, those that are being harmed by all the things that are happening in our society and all the decisions that are being made, policies that are being created. So we all have to work together on this. We all have to collaborate differently than we ever have before. We have to be okay with being uncomfortable now. I want you guys to just stop for a second and think and imagine our city without waste. Imagine what that looks like. Imagine what that feels like. Bring together a concept that is collaborative, inclusive, and genuinely sustainable, where we can decarbonize and rehumanize our entire society in a way no one has ever seen before. Portland has been here before. Portland has done this. Portland has already gained its awards and its accolades on being this sustainable ecosystem and making transformational shifts, but we got punched in the face. And we got to get up. We got to get up, and we got to redefine our North Star, which is redeveloping the most sustainable ecosystem imaginable. Portland, Oregon, the #1 garbage city on the planet.